Okay, so now we're looking at more of a kind of graphical form of what nutritional literacy kind of looks like. So, or the 4 stages of competence, and this is going to build nutritional literacy over a period of time. And you'll notice you start off by not tracking food, and you also finish with not tracking food. So, the first and last stages you won't be tracking. It's just that middle stage when you're trying to build that nutritional literacy, find out what works, find out the energy density in a meal, and be able to kind of calibrate your eyes to judge that just by looking at it, which you do over a period of time. Then ultimately you end up in a place where you can eat comfortably. You know the amount of you know the energy density in a food, and you know what you need to do in terms of reducing food intake or increasing food intake to either be in a diet, put yourself in a diet to lose body fat, or to put yourself in a surplus to therefore then gain some lean mass. So we start off at the lack of awareness stage. We don't know what we don't know. We're unconsciously incompetent at this stage. And so therefore we are not tracking food. We don't know basically what's going on. We're just kind of eating willy nilly at this stage. Then we go into a kind of awareness stage. We start tracking food, and we realise we don't know we don't know much about energy density. We don't know much about micronutrition. We realise we've got a lot to learn about nutrition, and we've got a lot of nutritional literacy to build. So this is a kind of awareness stage at that. Then after a while of tracking food, we are at this step-by-step stage where we're slowly building this nutritional literacy, because we're tracking it and we're aware of it, and we're aware of how certain quantities of foods and even certain types of foods, how those foods affect our our performance, our habits, our behaviours, our mood. You figure out what works for you and what doesn't work for you, and this is all done through that kind of tracking stage. It's starting to you're easily able to manipulate your body composition to suit, because you're aware of the calories that work for you, and you're aware of the things that you need to do to tweak it in order to change your body composition. Then after that, you become skilled, you become unconsciously competent, where you're just able to eat and not track. You don't need to track, and you're able to hit your protein targets, hit your micronutrient targets. You've been doing the stuff consistently anyway. The habits and behaviours don't change. It's just the fact of logging the meals. The same behaviours still occur. And this is the thing that I say to clients, that as long as the habits and behaviours are occurring, tracking the meals doesn't necessarily matter. We're not aiming to be tracking the meals. So tracking the meals is just is an awareness type thing to kind of build some literacy, but it's definitely not the goal. And at this point, you're able to just manage everything nutritionally with on autopilot. This is where I am at the moment. The last 3 weeks, or the 3 out of the last 4 weeks of the last diet that I was on, where I got as shredded as I've ever been. I never tracked. I was doing the same things consistently, and I knew what was working. I was tracking my body weight each day, and I knew what I had to do to ultimately be reducing my body weight and dropping that last bit of fat to get ready for the photos that I got done. It was easy, and I think part of it felt easy because I was at that competent level. I think the setup of my diet worked in my favour as well, but I think just being competent and not having to contribute a lot of brain power to it made a massive difference as well. So this is where we want to end up. This is the goal. So if you've got any aversions to tracking calories, just know that it's a short-term thing. It's a stopgap solution to build some literacy, to build some education, and over a period of time, we ultimately get to a stage where we're unconsciously competent, and we're able to execute this stuff very, very easily.